10 things that me and Katie wish we knew before we started hosting on Airbnb. ABH. Always be hosting. When guests check into the home, we leave a $25 gift card as like a welcome gift. You know, they've had their first night in the house. We have another automated message. We partner with a local cookie company here called Chunk. We surprise the guests, and I usually let them know over another automated message, hey, there is a surprise coming to the front door. Just want to let you know.
Hiring a good contractor. That's a big one.
We had a nightmare of a story. We decided to go on Facebook. This was kind of during the end of COVID, and so contractors were hard to find. Mm-hmm. Getting someone here was hard to find. And
there was a lot of flips going on, and so contractors were just charging a lot, and they were like not super eager to take on more jobs, so they were charging more. So we got a couple different bids.
And we ended up going with a complete wrong company. It really pays to know your contractor. Not only did we flood the house, they ruined our flooring. They threw away cabinets that we wanted to do.
We wanted to reuse. We were trying to keep things in budget.
Always vet out and always make sure to hire a good contractor. Do not wing it. What I mean by that is there are a ton of hosts out there that throw up some pictures. They throw a couple beds in a room. They throw a TV out there. Having the remotes in the correct place. Having a cleaner that knows what she's doing so everything is clean in and out of every checkout is very important. Having the right pool company, if you have a pool for your Airbnb, having an AC guy on call, having the procedures in case something does go wrong is very important. We could really go on and on about the processes and how not to wing it.
This next one is huge, which is how to deal with neighbors. And this is totally Kyler's department. You're such the people person, and he's so great at like going out to meet the neighbors, and it's huge. So I'm gonna let you talk on this one.
So a lot of Airbnb hosts will actually like just set up the Airbnb. They won't tell their neighbors. Something goes
scared.
wrong.
Like I get like nervous. Like a neighbor's not gonna like the idea that we have an Airbnb.
Or the cops are gonna get called. And one thing that we do is we're proactive about it. I will go over, I'll knock on the door, I will tell them, hey, look, if anything happens, if anything goes wrong, we're setting up our home for an Airbnb. We're not doing this to host parties. We're not doing this to have loud noise. And so we actually have noise monitors in the home that work off of iOS devices. So we know how many people are in the home. We know the noise level of the home. What we want to do, though, to be proactive with our neighbors is be neighborly. And so we usually go up, we give them like their own welcome gift. Katie did this idea for our Airbnb of just popping in. We give them a bag of popcorn with that. And then we also go through and we'll give them our business card. That way they have their direct line and information to me in case something does go wrong. And it's better to just be upfront and honest. A lot of hosts just try and sneak it in and are slimy. And that's not the way to be a good neighbor. And part of Airbnb and why Airbnb actually gets a bad name is because people don't let their neighbors know. And the worst way to find out if you are a neighbor and you're next to an Airbnb is when there's loud kids, there's loud parties and things like that going on. And so
if you haven't addressed it on the front end and then it becomes a problem, and you didn't say anything about it in the beginning, then they have a problem, and now it's going to be a bad experience with the neighbor.
How to properly vet the guests that are going to be checking in and staying at your home.
We were we're just so focused on having the highest level of occupancy. When you get a request, you can see the guest reviews. So sometimes they're new to Airbnb and they have no reviews, so that can be.
In that case, is we actually start asking them questions, because there's a review and like an interview period. So if someone doesn't have reviews on Airbnb, or they just joined
We'll
Airbnb,
ask them like, why are you coming to stay, or like what brings you to Gilbert, Arizona? And we try to make it about like, we're asking so that we can make it a great experience for you and your family. And then we can usually get a little bit of details about why they're coming.
It is better to have a quality guest than the quantity of guests.
Sometimes we would rather just leave it empty than have a bad guest come and ruin our house.
Exactly.
The difference in how important it is to have the right cleaner.
We actually are realtors, and we, as you probably know by now, and specialize in short-term rentals. Not all cleaners are actually built the same either, just like your guests. And so their level of quality really matters. We've had some of our
attention to detail too, because your cleaner is like your eyes on the property. If you don't have property management, which we manage ours ourselves, then your cleaner is your eyes on your property.
Yeah. Like, we have a gal, her name is Norma. Norma is literally phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, I could like talk about her for days. She's down to the point where she knows the utensils, she knows the cutting board, she knows where the everything goes in our home. And so if it's out of place, she's checking in with us and telling us, hey, like, these were good guests, hey, these were bad guests, and like lets us know every single time. And so that feedback is important. And like, cleanliness matters. You don't want people to show up to an Airbnb and have anything out of place or dirty. And so vetting out your cleaner, having the right cleaner really matters. We've sold houses and short-term rentals to other clients of ours, and their cleaners just are not the same quality. The importance of automation in your Airbnb. When we set this up, we did not want to have to babysit our house.
Communication is so important for the guests and the host, and making them feel like we're involved and we care. And so when we send out a message that sends them their check-in, hey, it's 2 days before you arrive and we're excited for you to be here, and it puts their name in there and really personalizes it.
The day before our pool guy comes, so they're not like, you know, scared when a guy walks in the backyard. They're getting an automated message saying, hey, the pool guy's coming today. We just want to set a little reminder for you. The next one too, we automate and have cookies set up to be delivered the next day after check-in. So cookies are delivered. We use Yale keyless entry. I don't know if that's how you say it. Yale. Sorry about that. So we use Yale system.
It sounds so fancy.
Yale. This is so you have their own code. Their code is set up before they even check in for their stay to the last 4 digits of their phone number. When they check out, we're sending them all of their checkout instructions. The more you can simplify things for the guest, the better. It makes it an easier and more comfortable stay for them, and it doesn't feel like they're having to do a bunch of chores.
Ultimately makes it easier for us. I'm gonna let him talk on this, is because we wish we knew how much we could make on Airbnb.
Busted out my calculator. I've tried to figure out what triple R mortgage was, thinking that absolutely no one in their right mind would ever rent the home for this amount of money. The house booked on Airbnb for 2 weeks, and I'm shocked. The house is cleaner than when we left it. It is in impeccable shape, and the guests were just very kind to our property. And at that point, I knew, like, whoa, if we did this the first 4 days, like, this is gonna be insane. That's one of the things that I just really wish I knew before starting this, was how much you can actually make and profit on an Airbnb if it's set up correctly. Any guests ever ask for a discount, just don't.
We had a guest that had asked for a discount. And
I'm a name dropper. Her name was is this lady gives Katie the sob story that her dad died and all this, asking for a discount. Katie agrees to give her a discount if everything goes smooth with her stay and after we get 5-star.
She said the bathroom was clogged, so we got these like clogged things for our cleaners. Like after she checked out, like had like.
No, we had someone go over there
to
during
fix
her
it.
stay.
Yeah, and then every single thing she like basically was like, I'm gonna get this stay for free.
She told us that there was mold in our house. There was definitely not mold in our house.
The cleaner was like, all the stuff that we had there was there. She just lied.
Before she even checked out, was turning us into Airbnb. She tried to file for a refund. Anyway, we provided all of the information to Airbnb, the truth, showed them, had our cleaners show them everything. We had only 5-star reviews at this point. She tried to review us like with a 2-star, and Airbnb ended up actually siding with us. We ended up being able to correct everything.
But they didn't take off the review.
Yeah, they ended up not taking off the review. That was a bummer, but
yeah.
This is also why it's so important and why we're trying to teach this now, and something that we really wish we knew before we started hosting on Airbnb. Top quality photos and the design of your home is oh so important when hosting.
We did a pretty good job on our primary house. We had renovated it, but we didn't know that we were going to use it as an Airbnb. So when we renovated it, we didn't renovate it in a way that was for Airbnb. So
we didn't hire the best photographer,
yeah,
and so we had crummy photos, and I think in a way that crummy photos lead to not so great guests.
Yeah.
And so the next time we did it, Katie was like, she really vetted out the photographer. You want to mention the photographer?
Yeah, picture my listing. He's phenomenal. He does really great photos.
Dude is next level.
There was even some photos that turned out a little dark, and he came back and
reshot the photos. Pay to play. Hire the right photographer, have the right equipment, and just do it the right way. Don't just hire anybody with a camera. This one is really important too, because we don't want everyone to just think that this is just all roses and easy. The house is going to need maintenance. Having someone to be able, or a handyman to be able to correct things or, fix things as they break. We've had broken foosball tables. We've had things go missing. If you're getting into Airbnb and think this is just going to be smooth, easy process, great passive income, but it does take work. And so having the right people in place that you can call up when you're out of town to be able to fix these things is very important. Airbnb is a lot of work, but you can seriously make some amazing money and passive income. In the next video, we're gonna show you a breakdown of everything that we made in the first month hosting here at the G. Check this out, because I think this is gonna really pique your interest with how much we really made.